lot, are you going to be happy?
Yeah.
And that, you're brought up with that. It's a cultural thing. That and then you hear all the stories of people who've made money and they've become famous. That's what the culture has said, and then they're still not happy.
Yeah.
So they go, you get all of that, and you go, and actually that's not it. So I think it's a cultural thing. Firstly, we're trained, we're educated to believe that this is how it should be.
Yeah.
So I think, I think circumstances can cause people to change. Pain, and strangely enough, pain has an amazing ability. I've met many people, and myself, who hasn't been through pain. I've been through pain and struggling myself, but in that pain, I know I've touched things. I've touched something.
Yeah.
Said to me, okay, there's more to this. There's more to life.
Yeah.
You hear so many stories of people going, gosh, I've, a dark night of the soul. And then they have an awakening and a realization. And I think we'll get there in different ways.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. Ultimately, all paths lead to Rome. All rivers lead back to the ocean.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
People will all go back there. Eventually, everybody will come back to the fact that unless you're happy with yourself, you're not. Unless you can manage your desires, have a sense of worth of who you are.
Yeah.
That's where your joy is. That's where your power is going to be. Not out here. Because this is an ever-changing state. There's only one thing that doesn't change, and that is that soul nature, that heart force. And I think a lot of people are getting it. A lot of people are getting to that point. That's why I said I feel this strange dichotomy of materialism, awakening of consciousness.
Yeah.
There's a bizarre thing happening.
Yeah.
The two are rising.
Yeah. Yeah. It is really, it's quite amazing when you also explain it like that. And I guess what you're saying also is to have more trust, or to have more, feeling of that trust and understanding your heart intuition is very much going into that, like meditation practice or yoga practice. It's kind of the go-to, isn't it, for this?
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if I was going to give any reflections, I would say, if anyone listening to what you're doing here and what we're talking about is, I would say, trust that find a practice, a way that helps you, and we're all different, that helps you slow down, calm down. If it's sitting under a tree, if it's sitting by a river, if it's going for a long walk, and keep finding those moments that bring you back to a place of within yourself. Again, being in the company of education, knowledge, listening to your podcasts. Knowledge in itself can help you go, oh, okay, I don't have to keep suffering like this. The other thing I would say is, establish a practice. If you don't know how a yoga practice, get hold of one, because it works global. It's a global conscious process, because it doesn't just work with one bit of your body, it works with the whole. Explore meditation, try something. And we're all different, if don't give up. Some people are kinesthetic, then do a slow, gentle movement before you sit. If you're auditory, find a mantra, find a bhajan, a song, a prayer that you can sing. If you're visual, light flames. Do something that's visually, have a focus table that's got flowers on it and beautiful pictures of your family. So make it visually pleasing, and then sit. If you're visual, auditory, kinesthetic, if you're kinesthetic, then light your incense and ring the bell. Do things that help bring you into a place of center.
Yeah, exactly.
And I would say, whatever it is, find a way to calm your mind down, because I promise you, once that mind stops chatting, and I'm talking to you, I know you know this, once that mind stops chatting, there's an ocean of love, and everyone's got it. Can I say, the universe didn't miss anybody out. We all have that ocean of love. It's just we're so busy, we're so captivated by this world. We just haven't stopped to experience it, but it's there.
Right, because we miss so much. Like caught up in these moments, and exactly what you were just saying, like, oh, I need the house, the money, the wife, the kids, and then there's so much we're missing in all of that, whereas it's nice when you find, for me, it was really like, some eye-opening moments of like, yeah, but, I want to live, I want to every bit of it, go through everything, it's beautiful what you're saying.
And find a mentor, find someone to talk to.
Yeah.
What you're saying, all that communication. Find a group, Sangha. Find a Sangha of like-minded people that you can share your thoughts with. Find a mentor who you can talk to help you look at your blind spot or blinder fleck. I love that word. Find your blinder fleck.
Yeah.
We've all got a blinder fleck.
No, it's true. It's very. And a teacher is just, giving you the reflection of yourself, you don't, that's the beautiful thing of a teacher. Like, they're not saying anything you don't already know, they're just there for you to sort of go, oh, like
aha moments. Yes.
Yeah. That's what's so beautiful about having a good teacher. And I could speak to you for 300 more hours, probably will, just not on this podcast. But what would your, as a last question, or sort of like, what would your, I want to ask you like this question, and it's 2 questions in one. Like, what would you wish be for yourself for the new year, and what is your wish for the world?
Well, what's my wish for the new year? Well, my wish for the new year is to get to know you even more, Carol.
Oh, I love that, Annie.
I'm looking forward to getting to know you even more.
Yeah, me too.
Forward, and getting to know, getting to find the people who want to go deeper, and give my time, make myself available to dialogue, to share, to communicate. That's what I'd love to, rather than my project, because I can get quite busy. I'd really like to devote more of my time to quality time with people. At the end of the day, this art of communication that will fulfill me. I can get satisfied by a project, but that doesn't necessarily make me fulfilled. Fulfilled is dialoguing with people like you, nourishing each other's soul. I want to do more of that this coming year.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, 2022 just around the corner. And I'll make sure that people, I'm so looking forward to this beautiful journey we're on together, Annie, and I'll make sure that in the notes we'll can we close with the beautiful Dru story? Can we close with that? Sorry, I forgot to ask. Because it's a beautiful story, guys, believe me. So we'll close with this. So I'll pretend that Annie hasn't heard this question before. So, why are you a guy called Dru Yoga? I was so curious about why Dru.
Well, well, let's see, where did it begin? Dru, let me extend. You want the story of Dru, really?
I really want the story of Dru. Yeah, it's a beautiful story.
The name of our company, I guess, is Dru, and it's from the word Dhruvam. And Dhruvam is a name of the North Star. So if I put it in that context to begin with, and it means the still point. And it comes from couple of the texts we study as a team of seekers. One is the Bhagavad Gita, compiled by Vedavyas, and Vedavyas wrote a final piece de resistance for him, which is called the Srimad Bhagavatam, 12 cantos, a very long piece of work that didn't talk just about the fighting, the war of the Gita, it talked about love. And in Canto 4, Chapter 4 of the Srimad Bhagavatam is the story of Dhruvam. And the story of Dhruvam is that he was a young prince, and he has a brother called Uttama. And his father was Uttanapada. His father is the king. And one day we have his younger brother Uttama is sitting on his father's lap in the palace. And more than anything, what Dhruvam wants is to have the same accolade, the same place of honor as his younger brother, Uttama. So he goes to sit on his father's lap to join. And as soon as he approaches, the mother of Uttama, the younger brother, steps in front of Dhruvam and says, Surichi, she says, Dhruvam, you will never achieve that place on your father's lap, for I am his favored queen. So if you want to find a place with your father, you'll have to find the Heavenly Father. Go find the Heavenly Father, for that's the only one you'll ever achieve, or through birth, through my womb, which obviously wasn't going to happen. So this 6-year-old child then leaves the palace and runs crying to the arms of his own mother, Suniti, who is the elder wife. And Suniti embraces her child, and obviously, as any mother would feel for this poor child's feeling betrayed or feeling rejected. He felt rejected. And so she consoles him. And then that night, they say, it says that Dhruvam leaves the palace through the darkness of the night and goes into the forest. And they say that he says to the trees and to the birds and to the creepers, have you seen my father? In his absolute innocence, talking about trust. And no. And he spends days and weeks wandering through this forest until he comes across, or he's found by Narad Muni. Now, anyone who knows the teachers knows he's a great teacher. And Narad Muni says to Dhruvam, well, what can you be doing here in this forest? You're far too young, so you should only really, this search you're on should only be for when you're 65, much later on in your years, not now when you're so young. Go home, return to the palace. All will be well. And Dhruvam says, no, I will not return until I found my father. And Narad Muni then becomes his mentor, his teacher in a way. And he says to him, okay, if it is your resolve, he gave him a yoga practice and a meditation practice and a particular mantra, which is the mantra we use. And maybe we could finish with it. We'll use the particular mantra, which is central to our yoga school. And meditation Ayurveda school, and they say for the first month he didn't eat. For the second month he just lived on fruits. The third month he lived on leaves. The fourth month he lived on just water. The fifth month, and on he went. He lived on air until finally he was so captured. He was so held in stillness that the whole of the universe stopped breathing. And it said that in the heavenly realm, Vishnu lies on his in his heavenly abode, and Lakshmi says to Vishnu, "There's the whole world has stopped breathing. You are going to have to respond to this child." So they say then, the Vishnu appears to Dhruvam, and and appears to the child and says, "What is your wish? What is it you're seeking so fervently that you've stopped the human and the heavenly realms breathing?" And then Dhruvam says, "I want that one place where no one can push me away, where no one can move me, where I can be still, and around which all else will revolve." And so Vishnu says to the child, "Well, so be it. So go back into the world, go back to your father, become the king that you're destined to be with this spiritual insight." And so Dhruvam returns back. He's welcomed like the prodigal son, welcomed home by both Surichi, who had rejected him, and obviously by his own mother. And they say then at the time of his passing in years, he becomes a great king, and a very spiritual and a very wise king. And at the time of his passing, they say he then is given the abode of the North Star, which is the Dhruvam, the still point around which all else evolves. And I guess so. When I explain Dru Yoga, I say Dru means a still point. The whole aim of our style of yoga and meditation Ayurveda is to taste that still point around